Have you ever tried to hold on to something so tightly that it slipped right through your fingers? It's almost as if the harder you grip, the more it resists. Whether it's a relationship, a dream, or even your own happiness, the more you try to control it, the further away it seems to drift. This paradox is one of life's most puzzling truths. The more we hold on, the more we push away what we desire. This isn't just a coincidence. It's a fundamental principle of life. We're conditioned to believe that control equals success, that effort equals achievement. From an early age, we're taught to chase, to strive, to hustle. But what if I told you that letting go could actually get you closer to your goals than any amount of effort ever could? Consider a simple but powerful analogy. The act of holding water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more water slips out. But if you relax your grip, you'll notice the water settles naturally into your palms. The same principle applies to almost every area of life. When you grip tightly, you limit the flow. When you release, you create space for things to come to you effortlessly. The fear of letting go. One of the biggest obstacles to detachment is fear. We fear that if we stop trying so hard, we'll lose everything. We've been conditioned to believe that we must always chase after what we want. But in reality, this mindset often causes us to repel what we're chasing. It creates a desperate energy, a neediness that others can sense. And just like in relationships, no one is drawn to desperation. This fear can take many forms. Fear of loss. We're afraid that if we stop grasping, we'll lose what we have, be it a relationship, an opportunity, or even our identity. Fear of the unknown. Letting go means stepping into uncertainty, and that uncertainty can be terrifying. We don't know what will happen if we stop controlling, and that lack of clarity is often enough to keep us clinging. Fear of inadequacy. We worry that if we don't constantly hustle or force things into existence, we'll seem lazy or unworthy. We've internalized the idea that effort equals value, and letting go feels like giving up. But what if I told you that true freedom lies not in holding on, but in the courage to let go, the real power of control? The irony is that the more we try to control, the less control we actually have. When we become attached to the outcome, we become attached to fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing. And fear, by its very nature, blocks the flow of positive energy into our lives. It creates tension, anxiety, and resistance. Now, think of someone who isn't desperate. They're calm, composed, and confident. They don't need validation. They're not chasing after success because they already believe it's coming to them. This is someone who has mastered the art of detachment. They know that they can't control everything, but they trust that everything they need will come when the time is right. And this trust, it's magnetic. In the next section, we'll explore how you can start shifting your mindset from one of control to one of trust and detachment. It's not about abandoning your desires, but about releasing your attachment to the outcomes. When you make that shift, you'll be amazed at how much more you attract into your life with far less effort. What if the secret to achieving everything you've ever wanted wasn't in the endless pursuit, but in letting go? It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? We're taught from a young age that success is achieved through relentless action, through striving, through doing. But in reality, there's an art to letting go, a powerful shift in mindset that has the potential to completely change how you experience life. The first step in mastering the art of detachment is understanding that letting go doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean abandoning your goals, dreams, or desires. It means releasing your attachment to the outcome and trusting the process. Let go of the how. One of the biggest traps we fall into is obsessing over the how. How will I achieve my dreams? How will I find love? How will I make more money? When you focus too much on the how, you tie yourself to a rigid path that often limits you. You start to believe that unless things unfold in the exact way you've envisioned, they won't happen. But life doesn't work that way. The universe has an endless number of possibilities for how things can unfold, many of which are beyond our limited view. When you let go of controlling the how, you open yourself up to unexpected opportunities and a flow of energy that would otherwise be blocked by your need to micromanage the process. Think about it this way. If you're too focused on the how, you're also focused on lack, the belief that things aren't happening fast enough or in the right way. Letting go of the need to control the journey allows you to surrender to the moment and trust that what's meant for you will come when the time is right. Surrender to the present moment. Surrender doesn't mean inaction. It means recognizing that the present moment is all we truly have. Often we spend so much time chasing after future goals or regretting past mistakes that we forget to fully experience the now. And in doing so, we miss out on the magic that's happening right in front of us. When you surrender to the present moment, you stop fighting against the flow of life. You stop resisting what is and start embracing what is. This shift in mindset brings peace and clarity, allowing you to act from a place of alignment rather than desperation. Think of it like this. When you let go of the constant need to push and control, you become a vessel for life's natural energy. You stop forcing things to happen and begin to receive what's already there. You start seeing opportunities that were invisible before. You start connecting with people who are on the same wavelength. You start attracting instead of chasing. Embrace abundance over scarcity. At the core of letting go is the mindset of abundance. When you believe that there is always more than enough for everyone, you stop clinging to what you have. You stop worrying about losing things, whether it's love, money, or success. You begin to live with the deep understanding that the universe is abundant, and there's plenty for you to have, experience, and enjoy. Scarcity thinking, on the other hand, is rooted in fear. It tells you that resources are limited, that if someone else succeeds, it means you'll fail. But when you let go of that fear and embrace abundance, you open the door to unlimited possibilities. This shift doesn't just happen overnight. It takes practice, patience, and faith. But when you make the choice to let go of control, you'll begin to see the world with new eyes, a world full of endless opportunities waiting for you to receive them. In the next section, we'll dive into the science behind detachment and how letting go actually rewires your brain, creating the perfect environment for success and fulfillment to flow naturally into your life. What if I told you that letting go isn't just a philosophical concept, but a scientific and spiritual truth that can actually rewire your brain and change your life? The moment you shift from a mindset of control to one of detachment, your body and mind undergo a profound transformation. This is not just a nice idea, it's backed by science, and it's the secret to unlocking your true potential. Let's start with the science, the brain on detachment. When you detach from the need to control outcomes, your brain enters a state that's more aligned with calm, clarity, and creativity. This is because you're shifting away from the stress-driven fight-or-flight response, controlled by the amygdala, into a more balanced flow state, activated by the prefrontal cortex. In simple terms, the more you try to control something, the more stress you create. Stress triggers the release of cortisol, a hormone that clouds your judgment, weakens your immune system, and makes you reactive rather than thoughtful. But when you let go of attachment, cortisol levels drop, and your brain's problem-solving centers light up. This is the sweet spot where creativity, insight, and inspiration emerge. Detachment opens the doors to clarity and focus because your brain is no longer consumed by fear and uncertainty. You stop obsessing over what might go wrong, and you start trusting that everything will unfold perfectly. This is when the magic happens. Ideas flow, opportunities appear, and everything just seems to fall into place. The law of reverse effort. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The more you force, the more you resist. This paradox is a well-known concept in both psychology and physics, known as the law of reverse effort. Think of it like trying to push a door that you're convinced is locked. The harder you push, the more the door seems to stay closed. But if you step back, relax, and try gently, the door opens with ease. In your life, the more you try to force things, whether it's success, love, or happiness, the more elusive they become. But when you release your attachment to the outcome and stop trying to control every detail, you shift into alignment with the universe. Opportunities, relationships, and success begin to flow to you in ways you never imagined. This is not about being passive or lazy. It's about learning how to align with the flow of life instead of resisting it. It's about doing what needs to be done, but without the desperation or urgency. When you let go of the outcome, you free yourself from unnecessary stress, and suddenly, everything you desire starts to come to you naturally. Spiritual detachment. The universal. Flow in the spiritual realm. Detachment is not only a tool for personal growth, but a doorway to deeper connection with the universe. Many ancient traditions, such as Buddhism, Taoism, and Hinduism, teach that detachment is a path to enlightenment. It's the key to peace, joy, and freedom. But this kind of detachment isn't about withdrawing from the world. It's about releasing attachment to outcomes, to material possessions, and to the ego. In Taoism, the concept of Wu Wei refers to effortless action, living in harmony with the natural flow of life. It's the idea that when you stop fighting against the current and stop trying to force things, life flows with you. This doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing what is required, but without unnecessary force. The spiritual practice of detachment teaches you to trust that everything you need will come to you when you stop clinging to the illusion of control. It's not about doing less. It's about aligning with what is already in motion. By embracing detachment, you open yourself to the profound realization that you don't have to fight to make things happen. When you stop resisting life's natural flow, you find that it's far easier to achieve your goals and experience inner peace. In the final section, we'll explore what happens when you truly master the art of detachment, how it transforms your life, your relationships, and your very perception of reality. Prepare to witness the extraordinary shifts that await you once you let go and allow life to unfold on its own terms. The concept of letting go is often misunderstood. It's not about quitting, resigning, or losing control. Letting go isn't a surrender to defeat. It's a surrender to freedom. It's the realization that when you stop clinging to things that no longer serve you, you open the door to endless possibilities. This is when life stops feeling like an endless struggle and starts feeling like an effortless flow. But what happens when you finally let go, truly and completely? What transforms in your life when you stop trying to control everything and trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should? In this final section, we'll explore the profound shifts that occur once you embrace detachment fully. Get ready to witness how letting go can reshape every aspect of your reality, from your relationships to your health, to the very opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. You attract what you used to chase. One of the most powerful things that happens when you let go is that you stop chasing. And when you stop chasing, you naturally begin to attract what you've been desiring all along. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how the more you chase after something, the more it seems to slip away? Whether it's love, success, or happiness, when you desperately cling to the idea of, "I must have this," you create resistance. Desperation is a repellent energy. It pushes away rather than pulls closer. But when you let go of the need to have something, you no longer emanate that desperate, "I need this" energy. Instead, you become magnetic. People, opportunities, and experiences that are meant for you are drawn to you effortlessly. Relationships blossom because you're no longer suffocating them with your need for validation. Success comes to you because you've stopped trying to control every outcome. And happiness finds its way to you because you're no longer chasing it, but embracing it in the present moment. Detachment allows you to become a magnet for all that is aligned with your true desires. You stop pushing and start receiving, and that's when everything you ever wanted begins to come to you without effort. You experience true inner peace. One of the most immediate benefits of letting go is that it brings a profound sense of inner peace. When you're constantly trying to control, you live in a state of perpetual anxiety. Your mind races with worries about the future or regrets from the past. But when you finally let go, you release all that mental clutter. You stop obsessing over what you can't control, and instead, you center yourself in the present moment. This inner peace is priceless. It's not about achieving some distant goal. It's about living fully in the here and now. It's the calm knowing that no matter what happens, everything is going to be okay. This inner calm allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace, to face uncertainty with confidence, and to move forward without fear. Moreover, when you let go, you stop fighting against yourself. You stop resisting who you are, where you are, and where life is taking you. This acceptance of yourself and your journey opens up space for growth, for joy, and for contentment. You no longer live with the weight of constant striving, but instead, with a deep trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You become unstoppable. When you let go, you no longer operate from a place of fear. You stop worrying about what could go wrong and begin to focus on what could go right. And this shift in mindset is truly powerful. Detachment doesn't mean you stop acting. It means you act with a sense of freedom and fearlessness. When you let go of the need to control outcomes, you step into your authentic power. You no longer need external validation because you are already rooted in your own worth. This is the energy of someone who is unstoppable. You take action, but you do it with a lightness, a sense of playfulness. You're not afraid to fail because you know that failure is just another step toward growth. You're not concerned with what others think because you trust your own path. And because of this confidence, you start attracting people, situations, and opportunities that align with your highest good. You begin to recognize that everything is connected, and that when you let go of fear, you open the doors to infinite possibilities. You cultivate stronger, healthier relationships. Another life-altering change that comes with letting go is the transformation of your relationships. When you're attached to someone or something, you create an unhealthy dynamic based on need. You may find yourself constantly seeking approval, validation, or reassurance. You may even feel suffocated by the need to control how others behave toward you. But when you let go of attachment, you begin to relate to others from a place of freedom. You no longer expect anyone to complete you or make you feel whole. You realize that you are already whole, and because of that, you can show up in relationships. Your relationships become more meaningful because you're no longer trying to force them into a particular mold. You allow space for growth, for individuality, and for deep connection. You let people be who they are without trying to change them, and in return, they show up more fully for you. This applies to all types of relationships: romantic, familial, professional, and platonic. Detachment isn't about disconnecting from others. It's about connecting from a place of mutual respect, understanding, and trust. And when you approach relationships this way, they become more fulfilling, supportive, and harmonious. You open the door to unlimited abundance. Finally, when you let go, you create the space for true abundance to enter your life. Detachment opens your heart and mind to the understanding that the universe is abundant and there's more than enough to go around. Whether it's love, success, health, or wealth, letting go of the fear of scarcity allows you to tap into a limitless flow of resources. When you release the need to control how things come to you, you stop blocking the natural flow of abundance. You begin to trust that everything you need will show up at the right time. You stop holding on to what you have out of fear of losing it, and instead, you allow yourself to receive more. This isn't just about material wealth. It's about emotional and spiritual abundance too. When you detach from scarcity thinking, you start to see the world as a place of limitless opportunities. Your relationships thrive, your career flourishes, and you experience an overwhelming sense of gratitude for what you have. Final thoughts. Letting go is the key to unlocking your best life. In the end, letting go is not a sign of weakness. It's the ultimate act of trust and strength. It's the ability to release control, to trust the process, and to align yourself with the natural flow of life. When you let go, you stop fighting against what you can't control, and instead, you embrace what's meant for you. You attract, you receive, and you thrive in ways that seemed impossible before. The moment you stop grasping, everything you need starts to fall into place.